Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Output Racing League, round number 8 from the Milwaukee Mile. Here, obviously, in Milwaukee. We don't have a terribly big field, only 11 registered for the race so far. We do still have about half an hour whether they can get in to join the race. But at the moment, small field, but we got a lot of quality in this field as well. Derek Myers currently sitting on top of the totem pole with a 28.244. Matt Burgess currently P2, just a .064 of a second behind him. So let's go and join these boys in the form of a pit party and see what it's like to drive around the Milwaukee Mile. Get into pit lane here. It looks like we're going to lose Brian from the race. Anyone's paying attention? The boy's a little bit uncooperative today. That's alright. We'll get there.
Car outside. Clear outside. Car outside. Clear outside. Car inside. Still on the left. Still on your left. All clear. Car inside. Clear inside. Car inside. Clear inside.
Pace cars in. 3, 2, 1.
Car inside. Still on the left. Clear inside. Car inside. Still on the left.
Very difficult little track here at the Milwaukee Mile.
Still on the left.
Got to really pick your braking markers right and try to get down to that inside as quickly as possible, especially if you're on the outside. All the grip is in that darker patch of asphalt.
Still on the left. 30.098. Clear inside. Car outside. Clear outside. Car outside. Clear outside. Car outside. Still on the right. 28.925. Clear outside.
We've got around quite a few of the guys there trying to make our way towards Frank. A little bit wide there. We did keep our left-hand tyres in that darker patch of the asphalt.
Car inside. 28.799. Clear inside.
Ooh,
Clear outside.
giving us a little bit of a hurry up there.
Still on the left. Clear inside. Car outside. Still on the right. Still on the right. 29.202. Clear outside. Car
Saving
inside.
tyres is probably going to be one of the harder things to do here.
Still on the left. Clear inside. Car outside. Clear outside.
This is a very nice little battle that me and Chris Champo are having.
$29.06. $28.621.
Now it's about that time where I'm gonna start getting ready to go to the pits. So we'll probably pit next time by.
29.08.
Start looking for your sign.
And there's the pit entry. Very weird pit entry here. As you
5,
see, not too
4,
overly difficult. We
3,
did manage to get into
2,
the pits there.
1. Stop on the sign.
We're gonna pull over inside of Brian Pizzakemi there. So let's go through the field now. We've got Darren Myers so far, still on top. Matt Burgess in second with a 308, my apologies. Brian Pizzakemi in third. Charles Becker sitting in fourth. Frank Isaacson in fifth. We're going to have Travis Massey on P6. Jaron Sanchez is currently seventh. Brian Chambliss, eighth. Brian Harris, ninth. Chris Champo is currently sitting in 10th, Mark Pinchuk up 11th, and Tommy Bordeaux, the usual fast boy, all the way down in 13th, so we'll be looking for him to definitely go faster than that. Just sit here and have a watch of Tommy on his laps here. No lap completed. Bit of 24 of Frank Isaacson on the screen. Frank definitely showing a lot of pace here this week. Behind him, the 16 of Charles Becker. Surprisingly in 4th. Though Charles has been showing a lot of pace lately in our races. Looks like Tommy is actually staying on the track now, so we're going to have a watch to see what he can do lap time wise here. These camera angles are absolutely terrible. Tommy jumps up to 10th with a 28.755. Definitely be wanting to improve on that. Now he does a 28.707, slightly improve a little bit more, but it still doesn't advance in any positions there. We see Frank firmly planted into the wall. Go back and see what's happened to Frank. Oh, he hit the wall coming off of turn 4 and got caught by the wall. That's not the way physics are supposed to work. Now we see Derek Myers, Matt Burgess and Tommy Bordeaux all on our screens. So we're focusing on the 12 of Matt Burgess there. Focus has shifted to Tommy. Tommy's still very deep in the pack, while Derek and Matt currently 1 and 2 respectively. Now have 14 registered to run the race. The numbers are starting to get back up there again. Chris Champo getting into some bother there. I wasn't looking at what happened, so I missed it. These camera angles are absolutely terrible. There's Chris Champo on screen right now. But right behind him is Brian Chambliss. As iRacing doesn't know who it wants to focus on out of the two. I think we might have to adjust some of these camera angles on the fly just to make it a little bit of a better viewing experience for both you and me. Playing with this pit lane camera. This one seems alright. That's better. Now we've got the 7 of Brian Harris on screen. Currently down in the 11th position. Tony Bordeaux has worked his way up to P8. Enjoying these cooler conditions as we have about 7.5 minutes left in the practice session here. So very shortly these guys will be starting to come in and go back out and do simulating qualifying runs. Now we've got the 16 of Charles Becker re-entering the track. There's the 38 of Thomas Harmon. They said he wasn't going to be here, but here he is. Thomas has only done a lap good enough for 12th at the moment. See if he can put himself up a little bit. The answer is no, he went slower on that second lap. So Thomas with a 28.971, currently still in 12th. As now we've got 4 minutes left in this practice session. These guys will be getting ready to go to their qualifying trims shortly. No one's bothered to change any of the names in the top three yet, so we've still got Derek Myers followed by Matt Burgess and Brian Pizzicami. Brian Chambliss has displaced Frank in 5th place. That's about the only real change that's happened here recently. Speaking of Frank and Brian Chambliss, there they are. Oh, so we see the 13 of Travis Masia going around. At least the end of him going around. Let's see what's happened to him. Oh, he was just slowing down to come to a stop, and around he went. Track is going to start becoming very busy here in just a second. 16 registered for the race. These guys are ducking, weaving, bobbing and diving, trying to get whatever advantage they can here in practice. See if they can figure out a line to run in quali, and there goes Travis Masia again. Around and into the inside fence there after turn 2. I thought turn 4 was going to be the danger area for spins. As I'm just having a look at the time marker, it looks like Gerald West has joined the fray, currently in the 12th position. Tight little group of cars right here. That's Chris Champeau, Mark Penticuff and Brian Harris. Mark up on the inside of Chris. Chris tried to cut his nose off, didn't quite work. But Chris, with that slight outside momentum advantage, gets around Mark. Sounds like these guys are starting to shift a little bit here. Something we'll probably see quite a bit of as Mark hits the wall on the outside of turn 4. I know the practice race we did yesterday, there's a little bit more sun on the track and we were shifting after lap 1. Such is how slow you got to enter these corners. Alright guys, we've got less than 20 seconds left in practice here, so we're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we'll be getting ready to grid for the race here, round number 8 of the Milwaukee Mile. Alrighty, we are back. Qualifying has been complete and it's time for us to set the grid. Got Derek Myers, who qualified on the pole. On his outside will be the 57 of Tommy Bordeaux. And we're going to have the 86 of Gerald West starting out of third, with the 12 of Matt Burgess starting out of P4. We're going to have the 24 of Frank Isaacson starting out of 5th, with Brian Chambliss in the 21 starting out of P6. Out of P7 we will have the 38 of Thomas Harmon. On his outside will be the 16 of Charles Becker. Then we're going to have Travis Massia in the 13 car starting out of P9, with Chris Champeau in the 2 starting out of 10th. The 7 of Brian Harris will be starting out of 11th. On his outside, making a very late entry, will be the 20 of Justin Botello. The 4 of Jaron Sanchez will be out of 13th, with the 95 of Caleb Finn starting out of 14th. Brian Pizzakemi in the 78 will start out of 15th, with Dustin German in the 99 starting out of 16th. 17th will be Mark Penticup in the 5, and 18th position will be Brian Beach in the 18. We got 120 laps to face here at the Milwaukee Mile. It should be a very interesting race. We should expect to see at least some drama. So it's time to buckle up, hold on tight, and hope that your favorite driver gets through the carnage that is likely to ensue. "18 cars to take the green flag. Strength of field, including myself, is a 24.97. Pace car pulls into the pits,
Go.
and we are off and racing here at the Milwaukee Mile for round number 8 of the Output Racing League. Tommy Bordeaux with a huge jump around the outside there, taking the lead straight away. So Derek Myers has dropped all the way back to a third, but Matt Burgess not getting the best of runs through 1 and 2, going to drop back to third and allow Derek back up in the second. Kind of like Tommy Bordeaux there, had a huge over rev going into third gear. Sounds like he's got it sorted out this time, as we have a big gaggle of cars here in the middle, just behind Frank Isaacson. Let's go and have a look out of the back of Frank's car here. We're looking at Brian Chambliss. Behind Brian is Chris Champeau, and then Thomas Harmon. But they've mostly single filed out here. Tight racing going on here. A lot of people so very close together. The Gerald West up there in the 3rd position now. Must mean Matt Burgess, who was right up there earlier, falling back in the pack. Yeah, he has Matt Burgess fallen all the way down to 9th position now. Not sure if Matt is having an issue. Yeah, that's very not like him to fall that far back. Let's go and have a look at the current progress of Justin Botello in the 20. He started from 12th, and 12th he still is. Trying to look for a way around Travis Massey. Can't find one. This is a very hard to pass track. I can see up in the field a little bit. We do have a little bit of a battle going on here. Brian Chambliss in the 21 and the 2 of Charles Champeau. Chris Champeau, sorry. Why did I get Charles? I don't know. I said it with such confidence too. My apologies, Chris, if you're watching this. But Chris does get the move made at the moment, but it looks like Brian going for the switchback on him back to the inside. Thomas Harmon wanting to get into this as well. Is he going to make it 3 wide? Just about, not quite, but now they're 3 wide anyway. No. Brian Harrison's better of it and backs off. Thomas Harmon has gotten around the 2 of Chris Champeau. He's going to start setting his sights on the 21 of Brian Chambliss. Moving forward, Darren Sanchez just behind Brian Harris there. Darren started back in 13th. Didn't in P9 at the moment. Like anyone in this mid-pack is really gaining an advantage over anyone else. Thomas is under attack from Chris Champeau again. And Brian Harris is under attack from Darren Sanchez. Chris Champeau could not get the advantage. Looks like Jaron might just have the overtake made. But it's very close indeed. In fact, Jaron does have the move made on Brian Harris and also gets a move made on Chris Champeau. Chris now trying to get back to Jaron's inside. Doesn't look like he can quite get it done there. And he's also fallen under attack from the 12 of Matt Burgess. As Brian Harris is trying to attack Matt Burgess as well on the inside there. Justin Patello starting to make moves. I think we found the most interesting part of this pack. It's constant 2x2 battles going on here. And Justin gets his move made on Chris Champeau. Starts to bring Travis Massey in the 13 with him. Now Justin's going to set his sights on these 2 cars in front of him of Matt Burgess and Brian Harris. Burgess still trying to get that inside run to work on Brian Harris, and it does work this time. Brian Harris just checked up everyone behind him a little bit by slotting in behind Matt Burgess. Very smart play there by Brian Harris. Because if he didn't get back down to that inside, everyone was just going to come up on his inside and send him all the way to the back of that pack there. For now, let's go and check in on our leaders to see how they're doing. Tommy Bordeaux not being bothered at all. Derek Myers still P2 and Gerald Weston third. Alrighty, sorry about the radio silence there, guys. Just had to break up the cat and the dog. Starting to play a little bit rough in the background. They still got Tommy Bordeaux in the lead, but that lead is fairly stable here at just under a second to Derek Myers in the 54. These two are definitely pulling away from Gerald West in the 86, who is about 4 seconds off the lead. Behind Gerald by another second and a half is the 24 Frank Isaacson, doing very well this race. He was even surprising us with the pace that he had in the practice race yesterday. Frank definitely right on it. Just behind Frank is going to be the 21 of Brian Chambliss. Thomas Harmon and Jaron Sanchez right behind him as well. Matt Burgess bringing up the rear gunning position for these four. But everything has kind of settled down here a little bit. I did see a little bit of a battle going on towards the back here. I think I might have just missed it. I'm pretty sure that was the 2 of Chris Champone and 99 and Dustin German. Mark Penticup is pretty off the pace here, running all by himself. He's actually going to be under threat of going a lap down here very shortly. Leaders are just 5 seconds behind him right now. Closing pretty quickly, I might say. Doesn't look like he's got any damage. But Tommy Bordeaux is definitely closing in on him at a rate of knots. As it looks like we've actually got a move for the lead being made. Derek Myers closed the gap to Tommy Bordeaux and has just made the move going into turn 1. We missed it. And we have a safety car on the track. That has just saved Mark Penticup from going a lap down. See if we can see what's happened here. Oh, it's the 7 of Brian Harris. Let's back it up. Back it up. Back it up. He's just clipped the wall there coming out of turn 4. Chris Champo spins to avoid him. Ends up nosing it into the wall himself. And that's why we have a caution. Looks like Brian's car is on the verge of blowing up here. So let's keep an eye on it. Just to see what's going to happen, whether it will blow up before he gets to the lane or not. And he's very definitely underpowered right now. Has made it to the pit lane. And he makes it to his pit stall. In fact, he's overshot his pit stall, I think. Does he not even know where his pit stall is? There you go, I think he's in it now. Gonna go back and check on the top. Charles Becker has taken the lead. He didn't come in for a pit stop, that's why. Doesn't look like he even trundled through the lane. Coming in this time though. He wanted to try and get those leader lap points. Will he get it? I think he's just beaten Derek to the line. He has, so he does officially lead the lap. Brian Harris goes a lap down, getting those repairs done. But Justin Botello coming in for a late stop as well. At the moment, we've got Derek Myers in the lead, Gerald West out of P2, Tommy Bordeaux third, Frank Isaacson fourth, Brian Chandler fifth, Thomas Harmon currently sitting in P6, Darren Sanchez seventh, Matt Burgess eighth, Travis Massio ninth, Brian Pizzicami 10th. I think Justin's getting some repairs made. I'm not sure what's happened to Justin to cause some pretty big damage to his car, but he's just only now coming out of the pits, which means that he's been getting repairs done to his car. As we are on 1 to green, it looks like Derek is going to choose the outside lane here. Seen the jump that Tommy Bordeaux got in earlier.
We got around one more time.
We got a delayed green. I'm not sure what's happened here. But we do have a delayed green. Brian Beach just stop on the track to cause a delayed green. Did. We go back to 1 to go now. 17 cars left in the race. And I'm pretty sure Brian Harris's car would have blown up in the pits. Starting to get a little bit white-knuckled on the wheel. Pace car is in, and we're off and racing. Derek Myers with a huge jump there on the outside. Gerald West slotting himself nicely into P2. So Tony Bordeaux's in third, but he's just been shafted. And the 21 of Brian Chambliss overtakes him for the third position. Looks like Darren Sanchez is looking to make some moves. Trying to take fourth away from Tommy Bordeaux right now. Don't forget to check out Tommy Bordeaux's website, tommybordeaux.com. Real life racing accolades. Looks like we've got a little bit of a race going on in the pack here a little bit as they're trying to find the right cars that are in it. 13 of Travis Masia. Right in the thick of things here. There's the 12 of Matt Burgess going around 24 of Frank Isaacson. At least trying to. Frank goes very deep on the outside there to hold on to position for now. But in the end he does succumb to Matt's power there. Frank still holding on strong around the outside of Travis Masia. Looks like the 78 of Brian Pizzicani is having a bit of a titanic battle here with Thomas Harmon, as they're both stuck behind Travis at the moment. Oh, and we got another spin. That is a 2 of Chris Champo that's gone around. Let's see what's happened to Chris. Slow it down here a little bit. Oh, Dustin German in the 99. Like he didn't turn in straight away. Just tapped the left rear quarter there of Chris Champo. And that looks like a fairly sizable impact for the back of the car there for Chris, as he does his best impression of a reverse Nike tick. And pit stops are on again. The 95 of Caleb Finner stayed on the track. He wants to lead a lap. Looks like Derek Myers with a terrible pit stop there. Falling back to about the 4th position coming out of the pits. Gerald West taking over the lead. Not sure whether that was planned or not, because if Gerald West chooses the outside to restart, those two are going to be nose to tail. But in saying that, 95 of Caleb Finn still hasn't come into the pits. Taylor says, we've only got 10 laps on these tyres, and not all of them were green, so I reckon we can still hold off on them. Field is Caleb Finn, Gerald West, Brian Chambliss, Frank Isaacson, Derek Myers, Karen Sanchez, Tommy Bordeaux, Justin Vitello, Matt Burgess and Travis Masia in your top 10. And 11th is Thomas Harmon, followed by Dustin German, Charles Becker, Brian Beach, Mark Penticup, Brian Pizzicami and Chris Champo wraps up the field. 17 cars on track, absolutely all of them on the lead lap. Brian Harris, the only unfortunate, did not finish. Looks like the 95 of Caleb Finn has chosen the inside track. Pace cars in.
Go, go, go. Green
He waited for green and he is off and racing. It's a big jump there over Gerald West. And so did Brian Chambliss. Brian following right in the tyre tracks of Caleb Finn. Caleb on those slightly older tyres, holding up that inside line a little bit. Gerald West sails around the outside and takes the lead away. This is going to cause a little bit of chaos here. Brian Chambliss now sneaks up the inside of Caleb and everyone is just going to railroad him on the inside. Tommy Bordeaux coming around him as well here. There's a battle in the back going on between Frank Thomas and Jaron Sanchez there. And Frank's just falling back a little bit. For a second, looked like Caleb was going to be able to slot himself behind Tommy Bordeaux and stay there, but Matt Burgess quickly getting to his inside. As we have a battle going on for third right now. In fact, it's a battle for second. Derek Myers trying to take it away from Brian Chambliss, and he gets the move made coming up for turn 4. Brian Chambliss with the switchback trying to get back up on his inside for turn 1 and 2, but it didn't work. Tommy Bordeaux. Oh, as we've got another crash somewhere on the track. And it's Brian Beach who's gone around. See if we can see what's happened here. Got Chris Champo on his inside. And it's a little bit of the two fellas trying to go for the same piece of real estate there. That's the end result. Ooh, the piper Mark Pintercup just misses him. Nice job, Mark. So, just a simple little caution there. And Caleb Finn got all the way back to P9. It's very safe to say old tyres are just not worth it. And I think everyone at the front here is going to agree. Everyone coming into the pits. Ooh, someone stayed out. Who's that? Justin Botello has stayed out on the track. Well, that's definitely going to make things interesting. We're not even halfway through this race yet. Gabo says, even though it didn't work out for Caleb, I'm going to try this for myself. Obviously, Jabo and Caleb have very different driving styles and very different ways of making speed around the track. Jabo's going to try the old tyre treatment anyway. Jabo is going to choose the inside line for the restart. As we're now 45 laps in the book when we get to the line. "75 laps left to run." Pace car is in,
Go, go, go.
and
Green
Jabo
flag.
is off straight away. It looks like we've actually lost Gerald West from the planet. Not sure where Gerald is. He's in a planetary excursion there. If he doesn't pop back into existence soon, he's probably going to lose a lap. Jabo leads the first lap under the restart. But Justin's old tyres were just slightly better than Caleb's old tyres earlier. He is holding off this field behind him. We have a couple of battles going on through the pack here. See if we can see any of them occurring. We've got a battle up towards the front there. 12 of Matt Burgess on the inside of the 38 of Thomas Harmon. This is the battle for third. Darren Sanchez just waiting in the wings just behind them. Matt with the speed down low, Thomas with the momentum up high. Thomas holds off Matt for now. Darren hoping it ends in tears so he can pick up the scraps. Matt again mounting a challenge into turn one. Brian Pizzicami is right there behind Darren as well. But Thomas is still just holding onto that advantage right now. This time Matt gets a much better run through turns 3 and 4 and takes a position away. That is third for Matt Burgess, and Darren now attacking on Thomas Harmon into turn 1. Darren runs a little bit wide, almost getting into the side of Thomas Harmon there. Kind of diving off the corner to gain some speed. Thomas shuts down the door in front of Darren, and Darren has spun Thomas Harmon. Let's go back and have a look at that one. I'm gonna watch this one from the back of Thomas's car. Thomas cuts right down in front of Darren there. Darren with just slightly better center of the corner, just getting into the right rear of Thomas. And around Thomas goes. Sparks fly as he hits the wall. Thankfully, we don't need to invest in a new camera there. That is very unfortunate for Thomas Harmon, one of the top of the table series protagonists. Darren fell all the way back to 7th after that contact. Oh, No, he's still in 4th. For a second, iRacing thought he was down in 7th. We're waiting for everyone to come out of the pits to see where they're going to be organised. But Justin Botello's come out on top. If Justin can maintain this position, he will receive the Hard Charger Award, provided that Brian Fizikemi and Dustin German don't gain any more positions. Looks like the 5 of Mark Pentecup has actually stayed on the track. Got 12 lap old tyres, and he wants to lead this one. Looks like he's thinking better of it and coming to the pits now. At the moment, your order is Justin Botello, followed by Brian Chambliss, Derek Myers, Matt Burgess, Darren Sanchez, Brian Fizikemi, Dustin German, Frank Isaacson, Chris Champo, and Brian Beach is your top 10. You've got Caleb Finn, Tommy Bordeaux, Travis Massio, Thomas Harmon, Charles Becker, and Mark Pentecup will wrap up the field. Looks like Gerald might have been excluded from the session. Not sure what's going on. I think he might have an internet issue of some description. As we are back onto 1 lap to green now. Justin again choosing the inside line this time. Pace car is in and we're off and racing again. Dustin getting that monstrous launch off the line. Brian Chambliss holding off Derek Myers at the moment. It's so hard to tell which line is actually the better of the two lines. We got a couple of battles going on through the field. At the 18 of Brian Beach, involved in the earlier spin, trying to get on the inside of Brian Fizikemi there. That's going to be 8th and 9th positions. Looks like he's got it done. In fact, Brian Fizikemi dropping like a stone right now. Not sure if Brian has an issue of some description. Brian definitely not showing the pace that he should be. Brian is losing spots left and right. Oh, I think I've just seen the 24 of Frank Isaacson coming off the wall there on the exit of turn 4. And check out this battle for second now between Derek and Brian Chambliss. Derek gets that move made. Looks like Brian is starting to pull into the clutches of the 12 of Matt Burgess. You see Gerald West back on track now, just in front of Justin Patello. Gerald trying his best not to get in Justin's way here. In fact, he's starting to pull away from Justin a little bit here. This will also be helping Justin pull away from the 54 of Derek Myers. Because even though this is such a small track, there is still just enough straightaway to get a little bit of a draft advantage. But having a look now back at the battle for third place, it's going to be between Brian Chambers and 12 of Matt Burgess. We've got a 2x2 battle in the back here as well. At the 18 and the 57, Brian Beach and Tommy Bordeaux. The 2018 season 1 and 2 champion, the inaugural champion that is. Looks like Justin Bowe is currently enjoying this lead that he's getting, but Derek Myers has definitely closed up to his tail. There is no doubt about that whatsoever. That draft advantage I was talking about Justin having with Gerald West in front of him has not panned out as well as I thought it would have. Derek using the draft advantage of his own to catch up to Justin there. Going to be looking for any way that he can get around Justin, but Justin is going to make that car at least 10 feet wide. At least. As J-Bro is still holding on at the moment. Looks like Thomas Harmon still not having a good time. Only just about 10 seconds up the road in front of J-Bo and Derek here. Looks like Derek is starting to fall off the back of J-Bo at the moment. And start looking a little bit through the field here just to see what's going on. Brian Chambliss sitting in third still, holding off Matt Burgess, who's sitting there in fourth. But Jaron Sanchez in fifth, one who killed our returning champion. Got Tommy Bordeaux sitting in P6, our inaugural two-time in-a-row champion. Just behind him in seventh, we'll have the 99 of Dustin German. And Brian Beach in the 18 car, currently sitting in eighth after being turned around earlier. Frank Isaacson in the 24 is in ninth, but he's trying to hold off the challenge by the 78 of Brian Pizzicami in 10th, and you can swap their numbers around now. Brian Pizzicami 9th, Frank Isaacson 10th, and then we got the two of Chris Champo absolutely sending it to the inside of Charles Becker in the 16. These guys are battling over the 11th position. Caleb Finn in the 95 just behind them, trying to hope that they make a mistake and he can take advantage of it. Sitting back in 14th, be the 13 of Travis Massia, a little bit of land of his own. In 15th position, last on the lead lap, and only just still on the lead lap, will be the 38 of Thomas Harmon, 5 seconds in front of our leader Justin Botello at the moment. Looks like things are just a little bit settled down right now. Everyone just wanting to knuckle down and try and knock off some of these laps. We are past halfway. Got about 49 to go right now. 48 as they cross the line. Derek looking very menacing there on the back of Justin Botello. Thomas very wisely gets out of the way for the 2 leaders here. He knew that his goose was cooked. Let's see if we can open up the scanners here, see what these drivers talk about in the middle of a race. We've got a bit of a green flag run going. Again, I will stress that I must apologise if anyone does use any bad words. As we see the 54 of Derek Myers now going for a big dive up the inside of Jabo. Justin still holding on tough around the outside right now. Got the momentum and kept his nose just ahead of Derek there going through into turn 3. Coming off of turn 4, looks like Derek's got the advantage. He's got him cleared. Nice move there by Derek Myers to take the lead. Justin won't be too broken up about that. He's a racer, he'll be waiting in the wings for him to try and get that lead back. Oh, Jabo with a little bit of a mistake there. Just about ploughing into the back of Derek Myers. Like Thomas Harmon's actually pulled into the pits. I must have missed that earlier. He's gone 4 laps down now. We do have the radio scanner open. Doesn't look like anyone wants to do any talking. As Derek and Justin start to close in on Gerald West again. Put him another lap down after he went through and experimented with some alternate dimensions. Just remember, this is the longest green flag these guys have had. So they're not used to these tyres being this degraded and, you know, losing more and more grip as the laps go by. They're trying to, they're in uncharted territory for sure. Derek gets around the first lap car there of Mark Penticar, putting him 2 laps down now. Gabo gets around him pretty quickly too. Now it's all going to be on Gerald West whether he's going to let Derek around easy, because Gerald and Derek are teammates. It's very possible that we could see Gerald letting Derek by very easily, and maybe holding up Justin a little bit. I'm just hearing from the pit lane that Thomas Harmon is going to be out of the race. Engine went boom, was the official report there. Closest to Gerald West's bumper that Derek has been so far. Have a look at this from the gyro inside of Justin's car. Justin with some front right damage here. Looks like he's copped the wall at least once. Like they're playing pretty civilly at the moment. Derek Myers and Gerald West. Just looks like Justin just can't quite bridge this gap a little bit. Back to the outside view of the cars here. Let's go through the field a little bit to see where everyone's at. So obviously we've got Derek and Justin here at the front. In third place we're going to have Tommy Bordeaux, who has gotten around the 12 of Matt Burgess. Darren Sanchez still currently sitting in fifth. He's just been overtaken by the lap down car of Brian Chambliss, who was on much fresher tyres. 18 of Brian Beach currently sitting in P6. Brian Pizzakemi in the 78 sitting in 7th. Charles Becker in the 16 is going to be in the 8th position. We've got the 95 of Caleb Finn just behind him in 9th. And just behind Caleb is going to be the 2 of Chris Champeau. Frank Isaacson will be in 11th in the 24 car. Travis Massier is going to be 13th. And as I said, Brian Chambliss, who must have made a pit stop. First car 1 lap down in 13th. In fact, he's got 9 lap old tyres, so yeah, he's gone for a pit stop. Don't know when or where, but he did. Brian Beach is now in for a pit stop. So we could be starting to see people pull in for their green flag stops. With just about 30 laps left in this race. It would make sense because we've been on these tyres for about 38 laps. I would definitely be thinking about going in for a pit stop myself. Looks like neither Justin or Derek want to flinch at the moment. See Brian Beach rolling out of the pits now. Now, as I outlined in the practice session when we did the pit party, this pit lane is not necessarily hard to get into. As we see Justin Bowe in the 20 going into the pits. It's just a little bit awkward to get into because it's not a pit lane entry that we're used to seeing. Like we've also got the 99 of Dustin German into the pits. Derek still in the lead right now. Let the 18 of Brian Beach go past. Brian pushed Gerald White out wide there. They're not battling for position in any way, so there was no real need to push him out that wide. Jabo comes back on the track just one lap down. He's definitely going to be looking at getting the undercut here on Derek. Derek's probably banking on a caution coming out. So that way Jabo has to rely on getting the lucky dog wave around. Looks like Brian Chambliss, who made a stop 14 laps ago, is actually trying to battle Jabo for that lucky dog position. You'd think that Jabo on his fresher tyres would have it. In fact, he does at the moment. We can start entering lap 43 of this run on the tyres. Almost on lap 44 for the tyres. The tyres will be starting to scream out in absolute agony at the moment. As Derek does finally get around Gerald, Gerald cuts back to the inside of the track to try and get another overtake made back on Derek. These guys are teammates, and even though they're separated by 13 laps, they're still going to be battling it out hard for the track position. As Jabo, on his fresh tyres, comes up to the inside to overtake both of them. At least he's got Derek at the moment. Going to start working his way on trying to get around Gerald as well. So Jabo now back onto the lead lap. Brian Chambliss is just back there as well, looking to get back on the lead lap. Brian Pizzicami and Chris Champeau have come into the pits. Looks like Brian Chambliss having a bit of trouble trying to get around Derek here to get his lap back. Brian's tyres are 18 laps old, Derek's are 46 laps old.
Correct.
You heard there, Derek lighting up the radio, allowing the 21 of Chambliss to go past. Justin is now in 8th position. Derek's got to be thinking about coming in for a stop really shortly. In fact, he's coming in this time. Tommy Bordeaux is going to stay out and inherit the lead here. This is going to give some of these guys at the front a little bit more breathing room. It looks like Tommy's coming into the pits as well, maybe? Nope, not this time. Still waiting on Matt Burgess and Jaron Sanchez to make their stops as well. Charles Becker has just come in for his stop. We've got 3 cars who are yet to stop. We've got 20 laps left in the race. In fact, make that 19 and a quarter laps left. Ooh, Tommy getting tight there, coming off of turn 4, just about slamming into the wall. Got 50 lap old tyres here. I'm not sure if he's going to try and hold on to these tyres for the rest of the race or not. I don't think that's a very smart decision. Because Justin Vitello is absolutely gaining on him right now. This lap for Tommy was a 29.681. Justin Vitello, we're just waiting for him to come across the line. .8.712. A full second difference between Justin and Tommy here. There only been about 18-19 seconds separating them. Justin should be able to catch back up to him and take the lead at this rate. But Tommy, Matt and Jaron still holding on strong on these old tyres. As battle stations have recommenced for the 4th and 5th positions. There's Justin and Derek back together again. Derek with 8 lap younger tyres than Justin. Looks like Jaron might be coming into the pits this time. That's going to be Justin and Derek up into 3rd and 4th. We've still got Tommy Bordeaux and Matt Burgess out on 55 lap old tyres now. Justin and Derek are only about 15 seconds behind Tommy at the moment. About 10 seconds behind Matt Burgess. And Tommy Bordeaux has just now come in for his pit stop. That's going to give the 12 of Matt Burgess the lead. Matt now the oldest tyres on the track, 13 laps to go. We're going to keep looking at the J-Bo and Derek battle here.
Thanks, guys.
Just behind these guys is the... Oh no, just in front of him, still the 18. As Derek now goes for the big inside lunge on Justin coming out of turn 4. Justin holding on strong on the outside for the moment. Remember, Derek has 8 lap fresher tyres than Justin. This is effectively the battle for the lead. J-Bo still holding on strong around the outside there, but it's not going to be enough to hold off Derek Myers, who's just taken the effective lead away from Justin. Got 11 laps left in this race. Matt Burgess still out on track, 58 lap old tyres. I don't know how he's doing it, honestly. His last lap was over 30 seconds. as he's going to come across the line here with 10 laps to go in this race. I think Matt definitely has to try and hold on from here. There is no way coming in for a pit stop is going to help him whatsoever. Derek now clearing Justin with his fresher tyres. Let's go and have a look at Matt Burgess here. He's even stuck in traffic.
Thank you.
And he is coming into the pits this time. So Derek is now taking back the lead of the race. Valiant effort there for Matt Burgess, but not quite what was going to happen. So your current order is Derek Myers, Justin Botello, Brian Chambliss, Tommy Bordeaux, Brian Fitzkemi, Charles Becker, Caleb Finn, Jaron Sanchez, Chris Champo, and Matt Burgess, who I think is just going to slot in between Jaron and Chris Champo. Just have to wait and see here for a second. And that is indeed where he's spotted into. 10 cars still on the lead lap. Chris Champo is actually going to be at risk here shortly of going a lap down. Only 3 seconds in front of our leader, Derek Myers. But Brian Beach, Frank Isaacson, and Travis Massey 1 lap down. Mark Penticuff 4 laps down, and Gerald West 14 laps down. Gerald now has the oldest tyres in the field at 55 laps. But Derek is just putting on a clinic right now. He's lapping around 0.3 of a second faster than Justin Botello there in second place. To his credit, Tommy Bordeaux is still in 4th position there. He has the freshest tyres by a long way in the top 5. So we could see him starting to mount a charge, but it's going to be a little bit of too little too late. We've got 4.5 laps left to run. There's Tommy, who's just gotten around Brian Pizzakemi. Tommy's next target will be Brian Chambliss, if he can make it there. Chambliss is about 4 seconds in front of Tommy Bordeaux here. We're going to go back to our leader as he is coming up to this battle that's raging on in front of him between Chris Champo and Matt Burgess. Matt with much fresher tyres than Chris. Struggling a little bit here for speed. I don't think he changed tyres. Now 6.6 second pit stop, and he is as slow as. These drivers are both at the risk of going a lap down, as we have 2 laps to go as they cross the line. So Derek Myers is just going to have this one last challenge in front of him. Getting around these 2 lap cars. It should be clean sailing for him till the end. He's around Matt. Now he's just got to work on Chris. Comes out of turn 4. He's going to get the white flag this time. There it is, being waved furiously by the flag waver. White flag, last lap, last chance to win it or wear it. Derek pounding the backside of Chris there. I think he might let Chris go here as they come out of turn 4 for the final time. Derek Myers has just won at the Milwaukee Mile. P2 to Justin Botello. P3 at the moment is going the way of the 21 of Brian Chambliss. P4, Tommy Bordeaux. P5 will be Brian Pizzakemi. Great racing by all the drivers here today. Looks like unfortunately we got 3 did not finishers in Brian Harris, Thomas Harmon and Dustin German. Alright, so we're going to go to a quick commercial break here, guys, and when we come back we will have driver interviews. After we sit here and watch Derek's burn out a little bit. Not bad at all, Derek. Not bad at all. Alrighty, guys. We're going to go to the commercial break now. When we come back, driver interviews. Alrighty, guys, we are back, and we're going to start talking to our top three. We're kicking things off here with our third place getter tonight, the 21 of Brian Chambliss. Brian, really challenging track here tonight. How was the race for you, man?
Yeah, I started off in practice. I didn't think I was going to be very good. I thought I was pretty darn slow, and then I started to figure something out there a little bit towards the end, and I was able to get a pretty decent qualifying and then I got lucky with some of those cautions being put on the inside, which is really where you needed to be, and I was able to work my way up front. Um, and that one of those cautions there towards the end, I was looking at my fuel, and I was like, I don't know, maybe this might be close and I might be able to save enough on this run here. So I tested a little bit and I was like, man, I think I can save a lot of fuel. So on that last green flag run there, I think I was up to second. I ended up dropping all the way back to eight, really trying to save some fuel. And then I realized that I wasn't going to be able to get it. So I just abandoned that and I pit really, really early compared to everybody else. But I wasn't worried because it didn't seem like there was a lot of right front tire wear, even though we were on the right front a lot. Long turns, flat track, but I noticed that my lap times hadn't really changed that much. So I was like, you know what, let's try to save something here. And I pit real early because I didn't think I was going to lose a whole lot of track position. And it worked out. I came home third.
Well, yeah, man, it's definitely quite a bit of strategy involved here, especially for the end, with it being such a long green flag run. It was over 60 laps that last green flag run was, which is absolutely incredible for such a, I guess, a technical track. Because as you said, it's flat, it's long sweeping corners that aren't exactly, straight up circles in the corners. Um, so how was the track for you throughout the race?
Yeah, the track is definitely technical. You got to make sure you're hitting your braking points right, and everyone else out there has a different one. So you got to kind of be careful with the guy in front of you. But as far as the track changing early in the run, I felt like it was pretty darn tight on the entry, and it kind of stayed that way. I was able to figure out how to get some drive off by changing the entry, but then as the track kind of wore in, got some rubber in it, I was getting kind of loose in. So that it kind of helped a little bit. I saw um, Tommy behind me trying to make up some time, and he was really throwing it in there and was getting loose on entry, which I hadn't seen all night until the end. But it seemed like once the track rubbered in, it was pretty loose on entry, but it stayed for me pretty same off.
All right, man. Well, while we got Yapper in the booth, anyone you'd like to thank for giving you a hand here tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to go ahead and thank Jaron and the rest of the league for putting this thing on. There's a lot of good guys here. I always have fun. I'm enjoying myself out there. A lot of good competitors. I'd like to thank you for the broadcast. Also, putting on, can watch it later on in the night and see where maybe I can improve and watch somebody else's strategy and see if I can't mimic that for helping me out. And then thank my wife for putting up with this stuff. Uh, it's uh, 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 sometimes they don't always agree with it, but it's fun and it's what we love to do, and we put up with enough of that from our wives on the other end. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely know exactly what you mean, man. Well, congratulations on third place. Enjoy the week off next week. And we look forward to seeing you again at Texas in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, sure will. Thank you, and I'm going to Vegas actually, heading to Vegas this weekend, so that's where I'll be.
Oh, and nice, man. Enjoy yourself. Definitely enjoy
Yep.
yourself.
Yeah,
All
appreciate it.
right, see
Have
you,
a good
man.
one.
All right, guys. So that was the 21 of Brian Chambliss, today's third place getter. Coming up next, we have one of the guys that we would very politely call the man, the myth, the legend. But today we'll just call him a protest. It's the hard charger for today's race. Starting in 12th and finishing in second. Of course, we are talking to none other than the 20 of Justin Botello. Justin, what's up, dude?
Saw, dude. What's going on? How was it watching up in there in booth?
It was definitely very exciting. You and Derek had an amazing race for the lead for so many laps. What was the final strategy there for that green flag stop? Did you think that you'd be able to pit early enough where you'd be able to get the really good undercut on him?
I was just thinking get new tires and get out there. Took four tires there and thought I was going to gain more ground than I did, but just he had a great race. He was flying. I just couldn't keep up with him. He ran a great race. I had to do something different at that point. He was just so fast, and I had to try and short pit or wait for yellow, and I decided to pit. But it was fun. Had a good time, and we'll see next week. I don't know. I got to do something better to try and win these things. I finished second a lot, so kind of crazy, but it was a great race.
Well, in the great words of Kyle Busch, imagine if all those seconds were wins.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, man, it was a very good race for you on what is a fairly challenging track. Working your way through the field, we kind of caught a little bit of a glimpse of it earlier on, and things were just not quite going well for you early in the race. What did you change, either driving style wise or maybe brake bias wise, that helped you to start making your way through the field?
Yeah, just like through the middle of the race, I kept changing the brake bias, and then I hit the inside wall. I was following Jaron in the pits, and I killed the tires. I thought that was funny, and then fixed the damage, and then came up to the field, stayed out. We made a couple of strategy calls there, and it was fun. We still had a fast car, but we were a little bit.
Alrighty, man. Well, while we got you up here in the booth, anyone you'd like to thank for helping you out here tonight?
I want to thank Jaron for hosting a great league, and I want to thank Corey up in the booth. Thank you so much, Corey. Appreciate you, and Splash Go Graphics for doing what they do.
Right now, before we throw you away from here, you are a Twitch streamer. Let the people at home know where you stream from.
Twitch.tv/JustinBoat20. Come out, check it out. Have a good time.
Alrighty, well, thank you very much, Justin. Enjoy the week off next week, and we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks at Texas.
I'm very looking forward to it. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Have a good time.
Alrighty, guys, so that was today's second place getter and the Hard Charger Award winner, Justin Botello. Imagine if all those seconds were wins. Coming up next, we have the other half of that great race-long battle. We are going to be, of course, talking to today's winner, the 54 of Derek Myers. Derek, incredible race, mate. Great strategy there at the end, staying out 8 laps longer than Justin to have the fresher tires. How was the race for you as a whole?
We're back to back, baby. It feels so great. But yeah, I mean the whole that race was very interesting. I qualified pole and didn't even get to lead the first lap. I totally botched that. Thank thank goodness I didn't get ran over from behind, but my teammate was behind me, so he was I think he knew what to do. But yeah, then we got damage on pit road. Brian, it was he missed. I don't know. He just barely got into me, and I went into it was a 4X, and I went into the pit stall and had 12 seconds, and I debated on, you know, leaving it, but I was like, if I lose the race, I'll probably think it was because of that 12 seconds. But I went ahead and fixed it, dropped to the rear, and then went back to 14th and got back up to fourth. And it was like a 10 lap run. Then we had a caution. I was surprised I got back up to fourth that quick, but I was just put my head down and went. But yeah, then the latter half of that race, it was me and Justin up there for the win, and I was riding behind him for a lot of laps, had to catch him, and then he would pull away, I'd gain on him, and finally got by him, and then he pitted earlier than I would like to. Like, is it what if the caution comes out? We could get trapped a lap down possibly. Even though I think we were several, 3 4 seconds ahead of third. Debatable. I don't know how far it was, but he pitted, and I really thought I just screwed myself if I stayed out there any longer than I did. But I was talking to some of my teammates, and they're like, "What are you thinking?" And in my mind, I, I was thinking, pit later and have the fresher tires, but you have to make sure you have enough laps to get back to the guy in case he does come out ahead of you. And I took 2 tires, right sides, and just enough fuel to get to the end, and Justin said he took 4. I thought he took 2, but I you know, just ran 100% and got back to him, and that was a hard battle. You had to hold your line, and neither of us hit each other, so it was very clean, and that's just that's how you want to race. It's hard and very aggressive, and it feels so great to win again.
Yeah, there's definitely some good hard racing there, especially towards the end. But those fresher tire advantage, even though it was just the right side tires, you know, it definitely showed with the 8 lap fresher tires there. Um, but a little bit of a difficult track here with it being the Milwaukee Mile. A little bit of oddly shaped inside curbing there. What was it like for you just preparing for this race?
And I know last week I told you that I thought I'd raced here, but then I went and looked, and there was some other track. I don't even know which one it was now, but I downloaded it maybe 4 or 5 days ago and did about 20 minutes, with whatever iRacing had as a setup, and got to know the track a little bit. But I I knew I needed to make sure and join the practice tonight that they had before the race, and right when it opened, and get on there on a green racetrack and see what I can run compared to everyone. And man, I found my line, and I never changed it throughout that race, other than the fact that I was shifting originally, and then I left it, in fourth gear for the remainder of the race, and I was felt like I was faster in the fourth gear, and I wouldn't get loose and possibly spin out. Probably saved some fuel doing that, and yeah, the track, going in there side by side, if people are going, you have to give and take a little bit, or else you could possibly, if that guy pinches you too far down, you can wipe your both out or ruin someone else's day, and you don't want to ruin anyone else's day. But they'll remember that. But the track, it was a great race. I had a ton of fun. I'm kind of tired from that shifting and stuff, and man, that you had to make sure your shifts were just right, or you'd spin yourself out. And I nearly did that first run trying to get to Tommy, but man, it was a difficult track.
Right, man. Well, while we got you up here in the booth, anyone you'd like to thank for helping you out here tonight?
Yep, I'd like to thank my teammates, Jerry, Boss, and Double. And they're always very helpful, and we all talk and learn stuff from each other. And thank you for the broadcast. Like I said last week, it's always fun to go back and look at it, and it's always, for me, I love. Not that I've won too many times, but it's going to be way better to go back and look at this one too. But and also thank you to Jaron who puts on this league. It's my only league I run in, and that's for a reason. I don't have many days out of the week, but man, I'm glad I'm able to race these on Tuesdays. It's a lot of fun, and everyone drives very respectful, and we have fast people in here. If you win one of these, I feel like you know you did something right, honestly. So it's a lot of fun. Thank you all.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on winning 2 on the trot. Enjoy the week off next week, and we'll see you in 2 weeks at Texas.
10-4.
Alrighty, guys. So that was today's winner, Derek Myers. And this is where we are going to wrap up this broadcast here. Thank you guys for coming out. It's been an absolutely awesome show. If you're watching this over on the YouTube side of things, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're watching this on either my personal Twitch or the replay on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel, don't forget to throw us a follow. We do appreciate it. Every follow helps. And yeah, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. So make sure you enjoy the week off and get ready for the last 5 races before the playoffs. It should definitely be a good one.